Lance Miller won the 2005 Toastmasters International Contest with his speech, The Ultimate Question. The ultimate question. That question which has plagued man since the dawn of time. That question which each and every one of us must ask in our lifetime. And that question is, do you validate? I was 26 years old. I was living in a small apartment in a small town in Indiana. I had a job I didn't like. I hadn't had a date in 3 years. And I had a couple of roommates named Mom and Dad. I decided my life was going nowhere. So I decided to take control. I left my home and my family, and I moved all the way to Los Angeles. There, in 6 months I had a job I didn't like. I had a girlfriend who tried to make me better by pointing out all my faults. And I had a couple of roommates that made Dumb and Dumber look like Einstein and Oppenheimer. I had changed everything in my life, yet nothing had changed. Then one day after a meeting with my boss, all I wanted to do was get my parking validated. I went over to the receptionist and asked, "Excuse me, do you validate?" She looked up at me and said, "Well, yes, I do. You have a lovely smile." Confused, I showed her the ticket and said, "No, I was just in a meeting with your boss. I was wondering if you could validate my ticket." She said, "Well, let me compliment you on what a fine choice of business associates you have." Catching on, I said, "Well, let me go up there and tell your boss how lucky he is to have you here." And she goes, "Give me that ticket." As she takes her little machine and goes cha-chink, she hands it back to me and says, "There's something special about it." I turned around and head for the elevator and stopped. I turned around, just said thank you. I started to wonder how long it had been since I had felt validated. Her words stayed with me all the way home, and I started to wonder how long it had been since I had validated someone else. I wanted to do that. I wanted to make someone feel good, but I felt that I had to be important, that I had to be successful, so that my words actually meant something to them. But that receptionist had made my day. Heck, she made my month. So I went home to Dumb and Dumber. These guys were constantly bringing people back to the apartment. It was driving me nuts. But I went up to them and I said, "You guys make friends faster than anyone I've ever met. And that is a gift." To see their faces, I swear they got smarter right before my eyes. I went to my girlfriend and thanked her for trying to see me the best I could possibly be. You know what? She got nicer. I went to my boss and thanked him for hiring me. He had done me a favor, and I started to enjoy my work a lot more. I used to think that I had to be important to validate other people. I used to see other people as obstacles to my success. Yet, what I found that they were the path to my success. I started searching for the rightness in people, the little piece of goodness that would make them go cha-chink. I started to feel like a superhero. Under this mild-mannered exterior was a blue and red spandex suit with a giant V on the front. Yes, I was the validator. When things would get tense, I would come in and cha-chink, cha-chink, cha-chink. I had plenty of ink. Then I would hear people say, "Who was that man?" I don't know, but all I heard was a cha-chink, and now I feel so much better. And I finally figured it out. Do you know what's wrong with the world? Do you know what's wrong with me? Do you know what's wrong with you? Who cares? The question is, what is right with the world? What is right with me? What is right with you? The common denominator of all of humanity is that we are human. by nature, we are imperfect. It takes no special talent to find an imperfection in someone else. But every person goes through life trying to be right. I started to discover that I got back what I validated. I found out that when I brought out the goodness, the value in others by validating that. We have a lot of problems in this world, but I found out that there's not a problem that exists between a parent and a child, a husband and a wife, between a worker and his employer, between cultures, races, and nations that stems directly from the root or the unwillingness, the rightness, to validate the rightness, the value, and the goodness in another one. This is the ultimate question. Do you validate? But this is not what's important. What's important is, can you chink? Can you chink? Can you chink? You have been a great audience. Thank you.